I would like to know your point of view about the current global economy situation.
Well, we are at a very difficult stage. The recovery is not yet there as far as the rich countries are concerned. I think the bottom has been reached. We have got to the bottom. And from now on, it will be up. But it will never be like the old days. Even when the recovery has fully taken place, we will be at a lower rate of growth than we were in the past. Some people are talking about secular stagnation. It's a word in economics which has not been used for 60 years. And the idea is, in those days, the idea was that rich countries, people will save too much, there won't be enough investment, and therefore there will be no growth. Today, we have a very different situation. Rich countries have enormous debts. And they have to save more, they have to export more, they have to also at the same time create jobs. Now, this is where I think the situation is fundamentally different. Because nowadays with the mobile telephone and all that new equipment, it is taking away a lot of the old white-collar jobs. What people used to believe the computers can do now. So how do we invent new jobs? How do we train people to do things which are not white-collar jobs? That is the biggest challenge entire Western world faces. And we will see.
Mm-hmm. And what do you expect about the Spanish economy?
Well, you know, the good news in the Spanish economy is that you are up from the bottom. You see, Spain had a very interesting problem that it did not have a budget deficit. Its problem was the housing market. The capital in and capital going out of the housing market. So it had half of everybody else's problem. But it was a very severe half. And it also got contagion effect from Portugal, Ireland, and so on. Now I think everybody seems to think that the bad debts would be taken care of. Bill Gates recently did an investment in Spain, and I think the future is up. But as I said, it's not going to be sharply up. And how you get jobs for the young men and women, that is going to be a serious challenge to the world.
Then, are we in the right way to improve the situation in Spain?
I think there needs to be some social cohesion, cross-party determination to admit that the problem is very serious, which nobody has yet done, much more serious than we think, and then really search for interesting solutions which everybody agrees on. Let me give you an example. We have an aging population, and the cost of taking care of the elderly is very high because it is a very labor-intensive operation. We are always short of people. How do we train the young people to do this sort of job? You know, it's those kinds of problems that we have to think about.
Yes. At the same time, both problems. At the same time, we have both problems.
Oh yeah, there'll be lots of problems, lots of standard economic problems. We have to save more. We have to invest more. And we may be lucky, and some new inventions may come and solve our problems for employment. But who knows?
Again, last question. You have writing about rethinking Islamism. Ideology of the new terror. Yeah. What do we have to learn about that?
Well, one thing I was saying at that time was that one has to understand that Islamism is a political movement. It is not a religious movement. They use religion, but it's a political movement. And secondly, it is a political movement which arises out of a big crisis in the Middle East, which happened when the Ottoman Empire broke up. Okay? Now, nobody even remembers the Ottoman Empire. But Syria, Iraq, Jordan, Palestine, they all used to be part of the Ottoman Empire. Okay? Now, because at that time there was this big shock that for the first time in history, after 1300 years, for the first time, Islam had no Khalifa. It's like having no Pope. You know, I think that region has not got out of that shock. And I also said that terrorism will not be eliminated quickly. You know, it is, at that time I said it will take about 20 years. And I think it is because the political unrest in the Middle East, it's a problem for the Middle East as well as for us. Because in the Middle East right now, there is a civil war going on with Shias and Sunnis. The Syrian war is about Shia-Sunni war. It'll spread to Iraq, it'll spread to Jordan. Iran is going to be inside of Syria. So a byproduct of that would be terrorism for us. But it's a problem for them as well. And the world has to look upon it as how to solve the Middle East problem. Which why I think the Iran-US agreement is a very good thing. It's the beginning of some relaxation of tensions. And maybe it will improve from then on.
Okay, we hope.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.